Aries, welcome to your end of September 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here, and hope all is well. Let's see what we got here. Notice my chair is like creaking like crazy. Guys, it's so weird. In this particular angle, you can see everything with these cards. I don't know why sometimes it's not like that. So the heart of the matter is the Seven of Wands, which is a card of like kind of fending off some type of attack. I'm thinking there's something with work matters. You know, I do have in the past position the Ace of Pentacles. Now, there's another possibility here. The Ace of Pentacles can be a financial windfall. And with the Seven of Wands, you may get some blowback with that. So, for instance, let's say it's an inheritance, and somebody wants to tell you that you don't deserve to have this, that, you know, they're trying to make you feel guilty or what have you. Try to make it like, almost like you stole to get this money. When in fact, this is something that was given to you. And, you know, regardless of what the circumstances were, no one has a right to tell you that, you know, you can't have something if it was illegally given to you. But this can also be in the workplace where you start a new job and people are treating you in a way, maybe the boss is already trying to undermine your confidence or what have you. So there could be something along those lines. Remember that this is a general reading, and I try to give more than one interpretation, but obviously some people may not resonate with either one of those, but it's just to give some kind of an idea of what could be going on. Or if you've started a relationship with somebody of an earth element, or they have a strong earth signature in their chart. So we're talking about Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. And the thing that might be going on is that they think that you are maybe this is like a new relationship, and they don't understand how you operate, because Aries people are very spontaneous, and earth signs, you know, tend to be planners. So there could be a clash in that sense. There could be a clash when it comes to the way that you look at life, where you're always looking for the next thing. You're not just trying to maintain the status quo, and they might feel that you have too many irons and too many fires. So there's sometimes when you're dealing with the earth element in some way, and this would be more of a new thing. So it's like the two people learning about each other, but perhaps after the initial passion, they realize that they just aren't on the same page, and that person thinking that you are childish, immature, you know, irresponsible, and you might think they're a stick in the mud. But it's really that you're not necessarily criticizing them, they're criticizing you. That's why you're the one that is, you know, in the defensive posture. The higher message is the Hangman. And this is a card of some kind of a waiting period. It can also be just like letting go of the need to control the situation. Let go and let God. So if you feel like, oh man, what am I supposed to do now? I have somebody who's trying to undermine me, either in the workplace or some money that I have gotten. And, with the Seven of Wands, let's say this is a divorce situation, and that person is trying to suggest that you don't deserve to have a piece of the pie, maybe money that was earned during the marriage. And you're like, whoa, wait a second. I did this, I did that. Now, usually Aries people are very generous. So it's not necessarily that you're greedy and you want somebody else's money. It could be that they're trying to take it from you. I didn't think of it that way. They might be trying to take your money. And it's not that you're so greedy that you wouldn't give it to them, but under the circumstances, you may feel like, no, this person was not kind to me. They did not treat me well, and so I'm not doing it. Like, for instance, you're not rewarding them for bad behavior. What crosses you is the Seven of Cups. This is a card of delusions. Ooh, that's nice and sharp. It's really weird because I've noticed a lot of fuzziness, and that was a nice kind of clarity. You might be like kind of having a hard time being clear on certain things that are related to another person, their motivations. Maybe you're still hoping that you can resolve things with somebody, and even though they are coming at you in an aggressive way. The thing that you have to remember is that if you feel like you're on the defensive, then it's probably a toxic relationship. The problem with Aries is that there is such a love of conflict in a sense. Aries people, let's just put it this way, you're comfortable with it. You're the warrior. Your ruler is Mars, the god of war. So it's something that you don't shy away from, unlike your opposite sign, Libra, which is like almost like obsessively terrified of conflict. But you kind of almost, I don't know, in some cases initiate it or feel a sense of comfort in that realm, possibly because you have a mistaken belief that there is some kind of like that being in a conflict means that there's passion there. You're mistaking conflict for passion. And that is something that I think is fairly commonplace with people in general who are in dysfunctional relationships of all different kinds. It doesn't have to be just romantic, where they feel like that it's a sign that they really care, is that they're fighting about it. Otherwise, they feel like there's an indifference. And the truth is that calm relationships that are respectful, that's, to me, one of the greatest goals or the greatest signs of a good relationship. So if you feel like you're not in that type of relationship, then you definitely want to look at it at the very least, because who wants to feel like you have to explain yourself all the time? Sometimes when people want something, they will accuse you of doing something wrong so that you feel like guilty about something that you shouldn't feel guilty about. So that could be like, if this is a money thing, like let's say again with the inheritance, and somebody's saying, oh, well, you obviously manipulated our parent or our grandmother into being her favorite and stuff. And it is hurtful if you were the one that was given the money. But again, maybe you're fighting for your piece of the pie, and you're saying, I'm not going to take this anymore. I've always been the outcast, and it's not that I'm greedy, but I feel like this is symbolic of something much larger than that. What's coming in is represented by the Eight of Cups. And this is a card of leaving what is no longer, feeding your soul for something. Hopefully you have something in mind that you are leaving a current situation for, something that is not fulfilling. So if this is a workplace situation, even if you have just gone into a new job, what may be the kind of ultimate takeaway is that you really don't resonate with this type of work anymore anyhow. So let's say somebody's a doctor and lately they have been feeling this sense of like they don't believe in the same method of, they don't have the same philosophy of health. And they feel like they're going through the motions. That's kind of what I'm talking about. And I really feel that you need to have that kind of passion in your life in order to feel like you're in the place that you want to be. There are some people, so like an earth sign, a Taurus, for instance, who can just plod away day after day because that financial, tangible, receipt of money is good enough. That is something which they really find appealing and satisfying. And even though I think Aries attracts money, I think a lot of Aries people tend to be financially successful. And I think that even though that I feel that that's the case overall, I never think that an Aries person does things only for money's sake. I think that you really have a sense of enthusiasm that propels you to, or compels you to keep doing something over and over again. And when you lose that, you just kind of peter out, so to speak. The outcome card is the Queen of Swords, and when I see her face now, I think of like that she's resolute, that she has been through a war of one variety or another, and she's come out the other end fine, but she knows that she can't have her heart lead the way. That and it's ironic because I'm talking about this after the Eight of Cups, which is about leading by the heart. But in terms of maybe your next goal, if you will, you may feel like there's something like you're at that crossroads and you have to choose, and your heart might be pulling you in one direction and your head in another, and the head has to win out, and that means that it's not about your feelings right now. And usually, thinking of Abraham Hicks, they talk about the emotional guidance system, GPS system. And I do believe overall that is true. But I think that in some cases, the guidance system isn't necessarily the thing to go by. Because sometimes people have desires that are not necessarily in their best interest, and they bond with people in a negative way, negative bonding. Like, for instance, with that Seven of Wands, if there's a person who is not nice to you, is demeaning to you, and maybe it's on a more subtle level, but they're always like, you always feel like you have to explain yourself or you have to defend yourself, then that kind of relationship, even if you feel it is familiar or comfortable, you still have to walk away from it. And that means you have to steel yourself up, because you may have like a lot of, emotions that are keeping you there. I'm picking an additional card just because. Yep. Here we go, baby. The Fool. A whole new journey. First card of the deck. And so this is like, this is perfect for Aries. It's funny that the Magician card, which is numbered 1 in the tarot deck, but is after the Fool card, is associated with Aries. Maybe it's because the Fool is an unknown quantity or quality. And because I really see the Fool as being so Aries-like, of being adventurous, wanting a new adventure, maybe getting into a new adventure, but you don't know quite what kind of, where you're going to go. You don't care where you're going to go. And you're traveling light. The Fool has a very small, like knapsack. And that, to me, symbolizes, letting go of psychological baggage, letting go of the past. Actually, speaking of which, on the 1st of October, so right after the range of this reading, you're having a full moon in your sign. I believe it's at 9 degrees of Aries. So that could be like that ending that the 8 of Cups might suggest, of leaving something that is a part of you. Because for a lot of you, this is going to actually be in your 12th house. I'm trying to think, okay, yeah, it's going to be in your 12th house. So for like the people that are born in the Aries people that are born in March, this will probably be in your first house of the self. But the other people, most of the other ones, is going to be in the 12th house. And what that means is that the 12th house is karma. So that could be karmic baggage. Before you begin your new journey, you have to let go of things that are keeping you back, keeping you down. The 12th house can be, habits that are very self-destructive, or tendencies, But the first house is kind of conscious things that you're letting go of in your life. So I always make that connection between the 12th and the first houses, that they're not as different as you might think, although one is maybe about stuff beneath the surface or from other lifetimes that you're not consciously aware of, versus the first house that is more about this lifetime, your body, your life or cycle as a whole. So anyway, that's very intriguing. And so anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, Aries. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. I am promoting a double reading, which is a natal chart interpretation with transits for the coming 12 months. At least 70 minutes of that, plus at least 45 minutes of a tarot reading for a special price. It's called The Whole Enchilada, and I have other readings. You can find out more information at the link below, and thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.